On this episode of the Turnbuckle, WWE are working on multiple ideas for The Rock's return. William Regal is returning to WWE, and Fuego del Sol says that Ring of Honor returning will fix AEW's bloated roster issue. Folks, we're hitting a Scorpion Deathlock, I almost forgot what it was, into some wrestling news, but before we do that, I'm live right now on this channel. I'm playing Wrestling Empire again. I'm live right now. Go check it out. But first, we're hitting a Scorpion Deathlock into some wrestling news because it's time for the Turnbuckle. Ringside News reached out to confirm The Rock's current Royal Rumble status. WWE and Dwayne Johnson's camp are still battling around the possibilities. The Royal Rumble will be a big event in the Alamo Dome on January 28th, but that isn't the only time The Rock could return. We were told by a tenured member of the team that these are ideas for Rock in Rumble, ideas for Rock not in Rumble, ideas for Rock to show up elsewhere besides the Rumble, and right now, quote, nothing is etched in stone until an idea is reached. There are a lot of stories going around about WWE's plans, but at this time, any confirmation of The Rock's Royal Rumble appearance is, quote, fake news. I don't actually know what he's going to be involved in. At this point, he could be involved in anything, to be totally honest with you. That was the last report that I heard, was that he could potentially be in the Royal Rumble to face Roman Reigns, and everybody was like, oh, why does The Rock need to go into the Royal Rumble to face Roman Reigns? He's The Rock. And then it's like, well, Goldberg came in and was like, hey, I'm Goldberg and I won a championship match. And John Cena did the same thing, and, well, okay, I just remember everybody getting upset about Goldberg doing the literal exact same thing that everybody wants The Rock to do, and I was just like, okay, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but that is neither here nor there. He doesn't need to face him for the title. It sounds like that seems to be what the plan is going to be. It seems like they're trying to, like, find a way for The Rock to face Roman Reigns at some point down the line, potentially at WrestleMania, possibly for the championship, and if it is for the championship, they've got two roads that they have to go down. The first road is that they give the title to The Rock, and then they have to figure out how to get the title off of The Rock. The second road is that they continue on with the Roman Reigns storyline, in the sense of he just beat The Rock at WrestleMania, and there we go. I mean, that's pretty much it. And then it continues on with the tribal chief, and nobody can take him out and that sort of stuff. So I don't really know what they're going to be doing. It sounds like they're obviously working toward, it sounds like WrestleMania is the end goal. WrestleMania is the goal that they are trying to get to, no matter what they're talking about or what they're doing. It sounds like they want to meet at WrestleMania. I don't care. I don't want it to be for the championship, but it's going to be for the championship, and The Rock's probably going to win. And if he doesn't, that's still going to be stupid, which is ironic because both outcomes are going to be dumb and unnecessary. Next, we're going to be talking about William Regal and how he is finalizing his WWE deal, and he is expected to start after the new year. William Regal will reportedly start back with WWE in early 2023. According to a report from PW Insider, Regal is currently finalizing a new deal with WWE and is expected to return to the promotion after the new year in a backstage role. Regal's situation was addressed by our own Dave Meltzer on Saturday's edition of Wrestling Observer Radio. Meltzer noted that there should be something on AEW Dynamite this week that addresses Regal's departure. I believe that there is something that is going to be on Wednesday's show, if it doesn't change, where there will be something addressing certain things. The story is supposed to keep going in some way, but Regal is going back to WWE. Meltzer would continue to say he's heard multiple stories regarding Regal's contractual status with AEW. I've had so many different people tell me so many different stories. The primary source is that his contract was short term. The WWE side says that he had an out. Regal made his AEW debut at Revolution on March 6th, 2022. Does he sign a 9-month deal? It doesn't sound right, but that's the closest thing to what I would say is official. Meltzer continued. Others say that he had an out or Tony gave him an out. Another report that went out was there were people in the AEW locker room who were like, oh, we're not going to follow Regal's advice because he's old and his advice is like outdated and stuff like that. Apparently that's not true. And I kind of had a feeling that that wasn't true. That's like going up to your manager and going, what does he know? Huh? What are you talking about? William Regal was like, hey, I'm going over to AEW and I've got a bell with me, right? Here's a bell. I'm going to give you the bell. Ring the bell as soon as Vince McMahon is not in power anymore and Triple H is. What do you mean? As soon as Triple H is in power, ring the bell and I'll come back. Well, how do you know that that's going to happen? Just ring the bell, okay? I'll be ready. And then they ended up ringing the bell. What? That is such an oddly specific thing to have in your contract. That's like saying, I'll work for you. But as soon as this place, I don't know, hires like a man between the ages of 23 and 25, and he's from Guadalajara. I quit. And then like a week later, the same exact man walks in. He's like, oh, I'm out of here. It's like, what? How did he? But that's how did. You know, like, that's just me, okay? He's going to WWE. It's going to be a manager role. People want him to be, a backstage role, you know, where he's going to be, like, I guess, like, giving advice to the up-and-coming superstars and everything like that, and he's going to be helping with, like, matches and stuff. And a lot of people were upset about that because they were like, no, I want to be a manager. And it's like, okay, what do you mean? He wasn't even a manager in WWE when he was there. And now all of a sudden you want him to do the thing that he was doing in AEW in WWE, but then people are going to be like, oh, AEW bad or whatever. Y'all don't know what you want, man. You don't know what you want. You don't know anything. Finally, we're going to be talking about Fuego del Sol, and he's talking about Ring of Honor fixing the bloated AEW roster situation. Well, speaking on the AJ Awesome show, Fuego del Sol talked about Ring of Honor's lack of a weekly TV show so far. Del Sol explained how a TV show will help out AEW's biggest issue, a bloated roster. I feel like that will open up the door for a lot more guys to have a lot more opportunities to show what we have. The AEW roster is stacked right now. We have so many great guys. Guys are chomping at the bit for any bit of TV time and match time that they can get. For us to develop and go forward, I can't wait to see what the next year holds for AEW and Ring of Honor together, because I think it's going to help shape wrestling in a different way, and we're going to see a lot more stories. It's a credit to the roster that we have developed. Incredible guys, veteran guys that have been doing it for nearly 30 years. When you look at a guy like Chris Jericho. Here's my thing. I don't know fully if this is going to solve the problem. I don't know. And you don't know. Unless you look into the future and you see that Ring of Honor is pulling in like 7-figure numbers, right? And AEW by default is also pulling in bigger numbers. I just don't see Ring of Honor being the saving grace for AEW. I just don't. As soon as we get Ring of Honor going, we're gonna fucking slam our arm on the table and slide all the wrestlers who like aren't being featured over into the Ring of Honor bin, and we're gonna slam it shut. We're gonna shake it, and then I don't know why we would shake it. That's terrible. And then we're gonna dump them out, and they're gonna be a Ring of Honor. And it's like, okay, if it's more AEW guys than Ring of Honor, then that's kind of dumb. And if it's just the Ring of Honor guys, then you've still got the bloated AEW roster that you have to worry about. I feel like I said this like a long time ago. And by long time ago, I mean like 2 months, where I think Tony Khan just bought it because he didn't want WWE to have it. He was worried that WWE were going to snatch it out from under him and just not do anything with it. So he frantically bought it just so that nobody else were going to get like their grubby little hands on it. You know what I mean? And now he's like got it. And now he's like, fuck, now I have to do something with it, you know? But I don't think that that's what he thinks. I'm just worried that all this talk about Ring of Honor doing this and being that and all this, right? And then it just isn't what everybody assumes that it's going to be. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be another Rampage. That's what I don't want it to be. And that's not necessarily a dig on Rampage, but considering the fact that it's an hour long and none of the storylines are really like in depth or fully fleshed out, and it records right after Dynamite, so the crowd's not as like juiced as they were in the beginning, you know, it just feels like Ring of Honor hopefully I want Ring of Honor to get the shine that it deserves, and I just don't want it to end up like another B show for AEW to just sort of like, see, like that. I don't even know what that, one of my bags just fell. It's probably because of all the shaking I'm doing. Anyway, man, I want Ring of Honor to do well. That's all. That's literally it. I want Ring of Honor to do well, and I want everybody on the roster to be able to showcase their mic skills and wrestling skills and all this sort of stuff. I want actual meaty, fleshed out storylines instead of just another Rampage. That's all. That's all I'm saying. What do we talk about? We talked about The Rock and the potential ideas that are floating around for him to return. I don't care. I mean, it really doesn't matter. You can care, you cannot care. He's going to be at WrestleMania. He's going to be. So, like, I could sit here and say that The Rock is dumb and bald and stupid. He's going to be at WrestleMania. He's probably going to win the World Heavyweight Championship. There's a potential idea of that floating around. If The Rock wins the Royal Rumble, man. Oh, man. Okay. I don't even want to talk about it. It just, I could be here all night. Yeah, only the biggest news story that's happening right now is William Regal going to WWE. Great. I mean, listen, as long as he's happy, as long as he's going to be in a position that he actually likes, And as long as he's going to be, like, you know, utilizing all of his skills, then there's not really much else that I can say. And Fuego del Sol is like, hey, Ring of Honor, you know, you potentially solve the bloated roster issue. There's a potential chance that that could happen. And there's a potential chance that none of that could happen. There's a potential chance that Ring of Honor could come back and it could be just another Rampage. I don't want to keep saying that, but it doesn't pull in the numbers that Tony Khan wants. It doesn't pull in the numbers that it used to pull in. Everyone and their grandmother is like, oh, is that it? Is that all Ring of Honor is going to be? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want it to be a wet fart. That's literally it. On that note, folks, I'm going to end this episode here. Hopefully everybody has a wonderful tonight and a wonderful tomorrow. I'm streaming right now. Don't forget that. And as always, big hugs. Big hugs all around.